Establishing in week 11 that we had probably 2.5 second deficit meant that we had to really push in our own organisation, getting all of the aerodynamic development items that we'd expected to incorporate into the car in the coming weeks. We had to try and accelerate that process. So there was a huge effort in this organisation to bring those aerodynamic developments forward. And in fact, in the first probably 3 or 4 races of this year, we were undoubtedly the most improved and improving team. And we were doing something to seemingly potentially rescue the situation. But I think it became clear to me as the season progressed that whilst there was an enormous amount of effort, that potentially we had a car that the fundamental characteristics of it were good, but we were, for a variety of different reasons, we were some way behind in terms of the aerodynamic performance. And whilst we had made progress, and we made very good progress in a very short period of time, I sensed that this was coming to a plateau of performance because we weren't, as the season progressed, able to maintain that momentum in our development program. And that required us to have a dramatic rethink. It coincided really with a run into the first of our home Grand Prix in Britain, and was a very difficult and challenging time because we made some decisions. And I think I said at the time, sometimes you've got to step backwards to go forward. We made some fundamental changes to weight distribution, and we started to accept that we needed a completely different aerodynamic philosophy. Perhaps inadvertently, for a whole variety of reasons, we'd got ourselves into a cul-de-sac of development, and we needed to reverse out of that. I think the fact is we're a very strong team. We've got some very experienced people who have enjoyed success with the team before. They know what the team is capable of, and there was a high level of motivation by everyone, from the designers, the aerodynamicists, the engineers, manufacturing staff, the operational staff, the race team. So everyone had that high level. So it wasn't, in my mind, a significant issue trying to cause people to focus on it. We knew what we had to do. We just had to find a way to achieve our goal, and I'm glad to say that I think we've made some good progress. That's been clearly evident on the race track, and we're not going to stop at that. We're going to continue to develop this car. We want to win more races this year, but most importantly, of course, we want to ensure that we've got a competitive car for next season. As the season has developed and as the underlying performance of our car has improved, and that curve has become a substantial element in our armoury of competitiveness, and it's something which I hope we're going to see as a defining and differentiating characteristic in not just race starts, but in races in general. I mean, I'm immensely proud and passionate about this team, and I've been involved with it for a long period of time. A good number of the people I've been involved in personally recruiting and developing over the years. But to go and stand on a podium as team principal, although I've been on podiums before, I've been involved in World Championship wins. They've all been great, of course, but to stand there as team principal is a very, very proud moment for me personally, because I'm proud to be a member of this team. I'm proud of what everyone has done in this team, and that's been a fantastic effort. To recover in any season is difficult. To recover in a season with no track testing is an amazing effort by everyone. The fact is, coming into this year, we had a step change of regulations. It's clear now, I guess it should have been clearer last year, but it's very clear that other teams were putting a huge amount of resource, having effectively given up under the other technical regulations, and perhaps also being slightly more adventurous in their interpretation of the rules than perhaps we could have afforded to be. That gave them a head start. We went into this year, a year, 9 months behind a lot of our competitors in terms of development, and that's why it's been a real battle to get back on terms. I think the fact that we have the aerodynamic rule changes for next year are negligible. We obviously have the prohibition of refuelling as the biggest change, but that doesn't affect the overall aerodynamic package. So I think we've got every reason to be confident, but at the same time, we're not going to be complacent. We know how competitive Formula One is. A lot of the teams have already stopped the development this year. They're committed to next year, and we've got to make sure we do a better job than them, and that we are competitive next year. And that's certainly the goal of this team, and I think everyone in it, to be out there competitive and winning races in the World Championship next year.